Hi everybody and welcome to Darvanalee Design Studio. For those that don't know, my name's Nicole and today I've got a little bit of a different video for you. I am actually going to do a little bit of a before walkthrough and then a final reveal of what I'm doing in my studio. Now, be warned, the studio is not that big. It is actually quite small, and how I ended up with this small studio was for lack of room in my house. I had my husband floor the front deck, close it in behind me, and put some doors on it because it was just a front veranda. It had no closed in area whatsoever. This was back in 2012, I think we did it. Yeah, about 2012, probably midway through. I'll find some pictures that I took of the before we set it up as a studio for me out here. Now it's 2020, it is the 24th of May. Basically we have been on lockdown and homeschooling and all that sort of stuff for the last 8 weeks or so. So basically my sewing room, to say the least, looks like a bomb has gone off on it. Okay, I've had homeschooling happening out here. I've had to move stuff and shove things under tables and all the rest of it. So when I actually did out here, I wasn't in the right frame of mind when I set up out here. Basically all we needed to do was get the long arm machine out of the room, the front room of the house, and give that back to one of the kids. So basically, because that's what I did, I took over one of the bedrooms. So basically I had as I said, I had my husband floor it. We just put down I think it's pine marine board or something along those lines. We sealed the roof. You can see that just there that we've just got the pine board on that as well, so it's never been painted. And then we've just put, you can see just behind me, and a few cobwebs there, that's on the outside. Basically that is just perspex, you know, the roofing perspex that you can get. That's what we put on there, and it closed it in. The gaps aren't really sealed around the door, so we've had some issues there. I'm in a dry climate, I don't get humid, I don't tend to get bugs or anything in here, occasionally a mozzie or a fly or something like that, but that's usually when the doors are open. So I haven't had a problem with anything like that, because all down along the bottom of the floor, that's all sealed and everything. It's just been the top. I've got a few live-in geckos that live in here, and they keep the bugs down for me. So yeah, they've been living in the roof for quite some time now, and they come out at night when I'm sitting here stitching and have a little bit of look and see what I'm doing. So they're the only creatures that I have in here, and the odd spider or whatnot up on the roof, sort of up near the top there, the top of the door. But what I decided to do, and I decided I was going to do this at the middle of last year, I needed storage. And you will see in just a moment, I was in desperate need of storage. So basically what I ended up doing, I was sitting down, I'm like, how can I do this? I don't want to get a ton of cupboards like this and have everything exposed. And I didn't want to get a ton of, you know, pantries like that and have that all throughout. I wanted it to be functional. I wanted to still be able to sew out here, and I still wanted to be able to film and all that sort of stuff. So it got me to thinking. I sat down, I drew a plan out, and you'll see in a moment how I've got it laid out. And basically I'm going with the same layout except a little bit more streamlined. So what I thought the cheapest way out of it was, I thought that I could get someone in and build me a heap of cabinetry. Then I thought about, maybe I could do it myself, or maybe I could just order a piece at a time. And so I ended up deciding, going, you know what, I'm just going to get flat packs. They're within my price range. I can get one piece at a time, and I can stockpile them there, and it's not going to be such a big hit out of my pocket. Now, for those that know me personally and my husband, we don't get finance for anything except for our houses. We have 2 houses. We had a farm and we swapped a house, and then we used that equity to buy this house. So yeah, so basically we don't get any finance or anything like that. So if we can't afford it, we don't get it. Or we save for it. So that's what we don't have any credit card except for a business credit card. So we've got no credit card debt or anything like that, and we've worked our lives a lot like that for a long time, which means that I've been able to afford and not afford things. So basically what I'm filming on right now is my mobile phone. I have a little stand that I hook it up on, and that way I have my hands free and I can do my tutorials and everything like that. So the whole premise of my business, apart from my long arm machine, which was we got that as a lease, and basically basically we got that as a lease, and then I paid that off, and that was for tax purposes. So that has now been paid off. I've been able to slowly put money away and basically start to get my cabinetry. So the other week we went and we got a ton of cupboards for the bottom level, and when I say bottom level, that means that I'm doing the floor level, and then I'm also going to have hung cupboards as well. So basically today I'm just going to give you a bit of a walkthrough, and then once we've done all the renovations over time, we'll do a couple of little update videos and stuff like that so you can see what's going on. And then finally I will actually do a studio walkthrough, because not only do I have to do the filming and sewing end, I also have to do the long arm quilting and shop end. So basically I will give you a quick rundown of what and how I've got it all set up, and how I've got the two different sections, and what some of my plans are. So some of my plans are to have different stations for my different crafts. So if anybody knows that's been around for a while know that I dibble and dabble in a lot of different crafts. So I want to sort of set it up as stations, so when I go to that section I know that all the supplies are there for that particular craft, or maybe two crafts in one spot. So let's spin the camera around and I will show you what this disaster area looks like before we start renovating. Okay, so right now I'm at the door, and this is what you're walking into at the moment. Granted, I have got a lot of stuff here because I've just had a big fabric sale, and I've got some end of bolt stuff there that's still got to be photographed and all that sort of stuff. You can see my Autumn Queen there. She is been neglected this month. I was supposed to be working on her for the month of May, but everything and anything that could distract me from that has happened. I've got all my mini quilts which all have to come down off the wall. That is my design board, so that's going to be moved to a different spot. And you can see here I've already got one cupboard assembled, excuse me, and already putting stuff in it, but that's just stuff that I needed to set down last week. So my task today is to get into this room. So by some standards it is relatively clean and tidy, and that's probably only because I film every week. Okay, so basically I do all my filming here and all the rest of it, and this is what I need to organize. So I'm going to show you where I have stashed everything and how I don't even know, honestly, I do not know how I have functioned in here for so long. So basically, as you can see, as I said, I've got mini quilts up on the wall and all the rest of it. They've all got to come down. All this has to be packed up and set aside, but I still need to work, so I've got to keep some things out and all the rest of it. So there's my wonderful stand that I got and that I use for my filming, for my overhead filming. I've got my sewing machine there. I've got my vintage machine up under a pile of rubble. That was because I was looking for something the other day. And I've got stuff on the floor because I've had to move it because of the kids. I've got stuff shoved under tables. I have this shelf here, which is somewhat organized now. That's got all my cross-stitching stuff, but again, that's going to get sorted out a little bit more, and I've got some display stuff up there. I've got that pantry, which is full of stuff that's got to be sorted out. It's just been shoved in there. So you can see there that everything has just been shoved in. Name and shame that disgusting cupboard, isn't it? And then over here, Savannah was looking for something the other day, and yeah, she just dumped everything there. And then I've just keep putting stuff up here, and I've got little bins there, and I've got just stuff everywhere. I've got mini quilts that need to be sorted out, and obviously it's 10:30 on a Sunday morning. It's quite chilly here today, so I've got all this stuff, and I've got repairs in piles up there. I've got excess wadding and interfacing and cushion inserts that I've taken out of pillows because I've got floss that's got to be organized. I have a wonderful chair that my husband got me for Mother's Day. Isn't it fabulous? Like, I just love it. Like, it's great. I'll bring that out a little bit. Look at that. It's awesome. It's really good for relaxing in. I've got an ironing station, but then I've got my silhouette there, and then that's all my bag hardware that needs to be organized. Then I've got all this sort of stuff, and then there's just about as much stuff on the tables as there is underneath the tables as well. So there's big tubs and stuff under there that we've got to sort out. I've got a pile of cushions. I moved a light the other day and things fell down, and I've just left them there because I've been so busy, you know, like that wall hanging from that mini quilt there, right there, that thing keeps falling off. It's just stayed there, and it seems to be pointing to love beyond words. So just as a reminder for me. So as you can see, there's my mirror that I use for when I'm filming, so I can see that everything's in shot. Yeah, so basically, and then here is where I've been taking my photos for the destash site. So you can see it is a mess. So where am I going to start, you might be asking? All right, so I am actually going to be starting in this section here. So this cupboard, okay, is going to go into that corner. Those cupboards there are getting removed, and then we're going to put some kitchen cabinetry along here as a bench. So the cupboard that you just seen back there with the light on it, that is hopefully going in there, and we have a corner cupboard for over here. Now the corner cupboard is going to have things like, that's going to have my FPOS machine on there, possibly. So it has to be able to be accessed, because the only power point that I have on the front porch where my studio is in that corner. And so I have extension leads that's a double or triple from memory. I can't remember right now, but I know it is a double. So I have one plugged in, going all the way up to the long arm machine. And then all the stuff out here, actually, sorry, it's a single one. So that is plugged in out here, and that goes up to the long arm machine. And then I have a power board that is plugged into Savannah's room, which that is Savannah's room right there, basically plugged into there, coming out the window, and you can see the lead running up and going down. There's the power board up there, and then I've got a lead running down for the FPOS machine, and it runs all the systems under here. Now, before anybody freaks out and says, oh my god, that is a hazard and all the rest of it, it's not. We have a safety switch. We have safety switches on the power boards. We have circuit breakers and all that sort of stuff. So if there's any problem with any of the electrical out here, it will trip the house safety switch, and also trip the surge protectors and all that sort of stuff that we've got on all the machinery. So that is my job today. We are just taking this one bite at a time. So this is probably going to be about a 4 or 5 month journey for me. So this is our first part of the journey. I have a ton of stuff sitting under there in containers. You can see some books are down there as well. They're books that I use quite often, but I've only just got this shelf that's behind me now that I'm able to put the books on. So we're going to sort all this wall out here too today. So that back part is the first part of the day, and then the second part of the day is this wall here. I have another one of these cabinets going in. I've just got to bring it out from out of the house. It's all set up and ready to go. And I also so I'm going to have this whole wall here with one of these. It's nice and thin, makes it super easy to store stuff on. As you can see, I've got baskets down below, and that is all of my stash for embroidery and cross stitching. There is a bit more to come out, but that's all the room I had, and those baskets are quite full. And then I've got these, as I said, I've got these cupboards over here that I have to remove and get out and sort out. You can see I've got some of my private stash of fabric in there, and I've got a Brother Scan and Cut sitting up there. I've got book things that ends over there, and a bookshelf that's got stuff on it. So I am going to have a big day. Savannah's helping me, and I'm going to rope narrowly into it as well. And I'm so looking forward to finally, after all these years of putting everybody first, I'm actually getting my studio done. So as you can see, I have a big job in front of me. My aim is to, as I said, to streamline my studio, declutter the stuff that I don't use anymore. I have multiple tools of everything, but I only use my favorites. So I'm going to have a big destash as well. But by the time this video goes up, I probably already had it. But anyway, keep an eye out. If you haven't seen it, it may not have happened yet. I may still be organizing it. But my idea is to streamline everything, get rid of everything, sort out the fabric, sort out all the rest of it, and whatnot. So I've only shown you the first part of my studio. The next walkthrough that I do when I start the long arm machine, okay, down that end, I will do a short video for that as well. Maybe a long one, because there's a lot of stuff to go under there. Although it's not as messy down there because I work down there all the time, so it has to stay organised. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to get quilts done. So basically I'm going to head off and I'm going to go grab Savannah. I've got my storage containers and I've got most of the cabinetry up. I've got one more cupboard to put up, and then I'm going to get that end of the studio sorted. Okay, so it has been a couple of hours. Savannah and I have been going at it. We've sort of sorted and we sort of haven't. We've got rid of some rubbish. I have a ton of stuff that is going to go to the D-stash and all the rest of it. So I thought I would give you a quick sneak peek of what actually happened. All right, I'm going to turn the camera around, and like there's still a lot of mess and there's still a lot of containers everywhere. We've moved shelves, we've got mini quilts down and all the rest of it. And like, so sort of from this point where I am now back has got a ton of stuff everywhere. But where we need to put a cupboard up and slide the other one in, we're pretty much ready to go for that. So we're pretty happy with it, what we've done so far. So the pantry is in place, and that's where it's going to live. That white cupboard I showed you in the video, and so that is in the right place. So this is the progress that we've made in 2 hours, which is, I don't know whether we've made progress or whether we've made a bigger mess, but anyway, I'm going to turn the camera around and you can have a look. Okay, so this is my desk at the moment. It has a pile of stuff on. I've got some of these purple containers here. I've been finding all my English paper piecing, and that's gone in there, so that's already organised and the lid's on that, so nothing else can get put into it. We've started pulling mini quilts down. As you can see, we're getting closer to that. We've pulled mini quilts that were on the wall over here. So you can see here that we've put that perspex on there, and while it's great and all the rest of it, but this is actually going to get further closed in, and we're going to put VJ sheeting, and I'm going to paint it white. So that's going to give us a brighter environment in here with the artificial lights that we have, and seal it up a little bit as well. So my husband is organising all that for me. So we don't have a lot along this particular wall, so it's going to be easy to put those sheets up and all the rest of it. The perspex is going to stay, and that's why we've got a bit of a gap down there at the pantry. So the perspex is actually going to stay, and that way it makes it super easy just to put the VJ sheeting up, and he'll work his magic, and then I'll be able to hang some mini quilts up and all the rest of it. So I have, as I said, I've got the pantry in place, so I'll just come back a bit. So there you go. I filmed at 10:30 and it's now 12:30, and this is the area that we've cleaned. So we have a corner cupboard going up in here, and then we've got to make a measurement for what's got to go in there, and then we've got cupboards that are going to come along this way here. So we're working this corner first and this back wall, and then I'll be able to organise all the stuff that I put in to containers and all the rest of it, and then I'm going to separate them from keeping to de-stash, and then you guys will end up with a whole pile of stuff. So that's it for this video today. The next lot of videos that come in will be just as the cupboards are going in and the progress I make, and then we'll do a final walkthrough. So as I said, this is probably going to take until September to do, because I'm doing it slowly. I've got to get bench tops yet and all that sort of stuff, and a lot of measurements have got to go, but I'm doing the carcasses of the cupboards, which are just kitchen cabinetry that I got, and basically, yeah, we'll see where we end up. Leave a comment down below and tell me what you think. Do you think I'm doing the right thing? Have you got any other ideas for me? And as I'm going, I will probably do some footage and everything, and you can keep an eye on what's happening, so you can keep up to date and have the progress. Well, thank you so much for joining me and watching me reveal the mess that is my studio. I look forward to seeing your comments down below, and if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, and then that way you won't miss out on the future uploads about my progress at the studio. Thanks for joining me, everybody, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.